I've got a nice cup of tea with me, and I think I was surprised by how sweet the tea tastes in England. And I'm not sure if that's something to do with the water or something to do with the milk. I know it's nothing to do with the tea bags themselves, because I have been using exactly the same tea bags in Japan, from the same company. In fact, they're even from England. Like, my parents brought me a load of tea bags, brought a load of tea bags over to me when they came to Japan last. So exactly the same tea bags. But yeah, really surprised. It was just, wow, that's sweet. Even, I don't put sugar in. I don't like sugar in my tea. But yeah, maybe it's the milk. I don't know. Anyway, I've been in England for a few days now, and what have I noticed that's different? Quite a few things, I suppose. The weather, obviously. The weather is surprisingly bad, to be perfectly honest. It has rained. It's been very dull. It's dull at the moment. It's had some moments of sunshine and being clear skies. But yeah, I'm just looking out the window. I can see some blue patches. I can see lots of grey clouds as well, and an awful lot of wind. I don't know what's going on. It's incredibly windy, and it was last night. I remember just lying in bed, and I could hear like the rain falling on the roof, and I could hear all the wind blowing outside, and it was very loud. I think it woke me up a few times. But yeah, it's cool as well. It is much cooler than I expected it to be. I suppose my image of what the weather was going to be like when I was coming back was sort of like a few sunny days, just completely sunny, about like low 20s for the temperature, and not really much wind. But it's been below 20, I think, most of the time. Incredibly windy, and I have been wearing 4 different layers of clothing because I am not used to this cold weather anymore. So I have had a t-shirt on, a jumper, a fleece, and a coat because I've been so cold, which is crazy. I did not expect, or maybe I've forgotten how cold it can be in summer. It really does not feel like summer, and my family agrees as well. They think like this feels more like autumn. So it's like an early autumn feeling. But it's sort of nice at the same time. I mean, if you're cold, you can put more clothing on. If it rains, you can get an umbrella, I suppose, and still go outside. But in Japan, if it's too hot, it's too hot. There's not really anything you can do. I mean, you can put the air conditioning on if you're in a car or something like that. But if you want to go for a walk, too hot is too hot. And sometimes you have to just give up. Like, it's like, oh no, I'm too hot now, let's just go back to the house, that kind of thing. And there's nothing you can do about that. I'm also enjoying the fact that there are no mosquitoes. That's very, very nice. I can just sit down anywhere and I don't have to worry about them. I've seen some flies, like tiny flies flying around, but, I don't have to worry about those. So that's very, very nice. I think I've been maybe surprised by how English England looks, which is a weird thing to say, but I've been away for about a year and a half now, and I don't know, maybe you forget like one or two things or some details, or I don't know, like you forget the general feeling of being in England. But it's like I could look upon things with like a fresh pair of eyes, almost like I was seeing them for the first time. I wasn't. I can't imagine what it must be for what it must be like for people who've never like seen England before or been to England before. Or maybe you've come from a country that's, I don't know, got a very different style of doing things, or a different style of housing or buildings or things like that, or nature, and then you see all of this for the first time. But I was thinking, wow, it looks really English here, like all the style of the housing, and like it was nice to see pavements again at the side of roads. And I remember like my father was driving me somewhere. I was thinking, this feels really fast. This feels too fast. Because the speed limit in Japan is a lot lower, and all the cars drive a lot slower than they do here in the UK. And it's like sometimes like you're going around a corner and you just think, no, you got to slow down. You can't go around a corner that fast. Or you can see a car approaching you and you think, is he going to stop? He's coming towards me too quickly. So all kinds of weird things I wouldn't normally think when I'm living in England. But yeah, overall, it is really nice to be back. It's nice. I've been enjoying seeing so much nature and so much green. It's a different type of green. It's a different type of nature. I don't know what it is. It seems more full. Is the only way I can describe it. It's like greener somehow. I don't know why. It's like the grass is different. It's a softer, nicer grass. There's more of it. You can just see it everywhere. Driving around streets through towns and cities, and it's just more trees, more grassed areas. But it feels different as well. It's something different. I mean, yeah, the trees are different, and the grass itself is different, and the plants are different and everything. But I don't know. It's just got this different, like, feeling to it, like a different atmosphere. It's hard to describe. But yeah, it's nice. It feels more luscious. I think that's a good word. Sort of like plentiful. Yeah, so that's very, very nice. I've missed that for a long time. And since I've been here, I've been out for walks just around my parents' house. And there's lots of fields. Some cows, some horses. It sounds like I live near a farm. Actually, I do live near a farm, but my parents live near a farm. But yeah, it's not in the middle of nowhere. It's quite close to like. I mean, there's a McDonald's like 5 minutes away, so it's not in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, it's been really nice seeing the things I used to be so familiar with. And to be able to sort of look at them again, like I said, like almost like having a fresh pair of eyes and being able to appreciate them again. I think that's what it is. You get used to something. If wherever it is you're living or whatever it is you're doing, the first time something's new, it's amazing. I remember the first time I went to Japan and it just felt really like crazy and amazing and so different and everything. But now that I live there, it's just become sort of normal and boring at times, to be honest, but that's just the way things go. But being able to come back to England after about a year and a half, it's like, ooh, things are sort of interesting again. Like, oh, look at all these, like, look at all this brick everywhere. So all these brick houses, brick buildings. You don't see that every day in Japan. And I don't know, look at different types of trees and everything, different weather. And I've been able to meet up with friends and family. I did that on the first second day. The first day I came back, it was dark and I just had to go to sleep. I did it on the second day that I was here. I was able to meet up with my two sisters and their families and just spend a bit of time together. And it was really nice. It was really nice. It felt a bit weird at first, but I think after like a day or so, it just felt like I'd never left. That's the weirdest thing. It really felt like almost like this whole experience I've just had in Japan was like a dream or something, and I'd just woken up from it. It's hard. It's interesting the way the brain sort of deals with things and tries to process things. It can't do it very well. It can't understand like getting on a plane and flying and all of that. It just, I don't know. It just really feels like a dream. Japan feels like a dream, which is weird because I know I'm going back there in a couple of weeks or so. But yeah, I've met up with my friends. I've been to a pub. The first breakfast I had in England was actually nothing fancy at all. I just had beans on toast with red Leicester cheese grated on top of it. Because beans are pretty hard to find in Japan, and even if you do find them, they can often be expensive or just pretty useless, like not very good ones. So I had these baked beans on top of this toast, and I had, on English bread, which I've been looking forward to for a long time, because as I've probably said many times before, Japanese bread is like really sweet, and I don't really like it, to be perfectly honest. I don't think it's very good. So I enjoyed that a lot, It's just like something simple. It's not fancy or anything like that, but haven't had it for so long. So I had a lot of that. I had a big appetite when I woke up. I must have been very hungry, so I ate a lot of that. And since then, I've had like full English breakfast a couple of times. Sausages, tomatoes, mushrooms, bacon, baked beans. I think a few of them had hash browns on as well. So yeah, just and toast. What else? I think that's it. Sausages. I mentioned sausages, maybe. But anyway, yeah, I really enjoyed having that again. An egg, of course, fried egg. And I've also had my birthday over here, which was nice, being able to celebrate it with my family for, I think, the first time in 2 years, maybe. I went to a Wetherspoons pub with everyone in the morning, and that's when I had a full English breakfast. And then later on, I went to my sister's house and saw her 2 children, played with them for a bit in the garden and stuff like that. That was fun. And afterwards, we went for a walk around this very big park, very natural park, and that was nice. It was really nice just getting back sort of like deep in like real, what feels like real nature to me, like all the trees and like leaves on the floor. I think there's some leaves on the floor, even though it's summertime. But like we went in sort of like a forested area, and you can see all like the sunlight just coming in through the trees, and yeah, it was nice, really nice. And they have some big lakes there as well. It's nice to just sit down for a while and take it all in, think about everything. And yeah, I have been thinking a lot actually since I've been over here, because you do, it makes you think. It makes you think about like what you've been missing out on whilst you've been in Japan. Those kind of things. It makes you think about the future, like where would you like to live? You'd like to live longer in Japan? Would you like to come back to the UK? You think about all these kind of things, really, when you do a trip like this, coming home. But anyway, after that walk in the park, we went to another pub that had a curry night on. So you could get lots of different types of curries there. And I've been looking forward to having an English-style curry, because the ones that you can get in Japan are very, very, very different, actually. And to be perfectly honest, I don't like the ones that you can get in Japan as much as the ones that you get over here. So I had this nice sort of like fruity curry, like probably tomato based, with like lots of peppers it had in it. And it was a chicken curry, and it came with like 2 papadoms, some like basmati rice with turmeric, and some other flavorings, and a garlic, like a big naan bread with lots of garlic on and butter melted all over it. I think it was very unhealthy. I think this meal was incredibly unhealthy, but it tasted very, very good, and it was a very big portion. I couldn't quite finish all of it, but I did give it a good go. I gave it a good hammering. That's an English sort of phrase, which means you went at it a lot. You gave it a good going at. I don't know, it's a bit of a weird phrase, a good hammering. And then afterwards, I was hoping to go back home. Oh, I did have a pint as well with this meal. I think the whole thing cost about just over £10, including the pint. And it was nice having. I mean, there's actually like a real ale section on the menu. So you've got like drinks, and you've got this like real ale section, and that's the beer that I love, the ale. And there's lots of choice there. So yeah, I was happy with that. It was nice to hold a pint in my hand again and drink that. And then when I got home, I was hoping to watch something on TV. But I was absolutely exhausted. I haven't got over the jet lag yet, and it keeps catching up with me. And I think like the jet lag and like the lack of sleep I'd had, on the whole journey getting over here, and like a very full stomach as well, and drinking a pint of beer, I just felt I couldn't stay up any longer. So we got back, and it might have been around, I don't know, 9, half 9 or something. And or maybe 10, I don't know, but I just went to bed. Yeah, but anyway, I'm really enjoying it so far. My sister's wedding is still to come, and then I've got a trip, like a sort of holiday, mini holiday I'm going on to a place called Whitby, and there's a few other areas I'm going to be visiting on the way there and also on the way back. So yeah, really looking forward to that. Yeah, having a good time. Excellent. Okay, until next time, bye bye.